Welcome back, everybody, to more Atlas Reactor here on Additional Pylons Games. We're continuing our series, our Let's Play of all the different characters here in Atlas Reactor, and today, new today, is Phaedra. This lovely lady here. Oh, isn't she sweet? So Phaedra is some sort of genetic amalgamation, conglomeration, something or other. Anyways, so here we are. We've got her stats. She's a frontliner, obviously. Aggressive, terrain manipulating hybrid beast by experimental plasma. So kind of like the same vein as Rask. He's very aggressive. He's this plasma beast kind of thing. Anyways, so high health, below average damage, high survivability, and below average difficulty. I think she's actually a little bit more difficult than what they give her credit for, but that's just me. So let's go ahead and take a look at her abilities. So we can see here, Seismic Slam is our basic attack. Deal 26 damage to nearby enemies and 13 damage shockwave that goes through walls and ignores cover. So that's a nice little area. That's a theme that you'll see with Phaedra. She's got this ability to ignore cover, this ability to ignore terrain, and allows her to really damage enemies no matter where they're at. Again, being very aggressive. 6 energy gained per enemy hit, and our mod is the wind up. That's just the basic mod, basically increasing our damage. Putrid Spray, a 4-turn cooldown prep spell, sprays a swarm of bugs. It slows any enemies that are hit, and if you hit enemies the next turn with any sort of damage dealing ability, you deal an additional 20 damage. You get 6 energy per enemy hit, and the basic mod that we've got here is Hive. Bugs persist an additional turn, so now we've got 2 turns when we can hit enemies and deal extra damage to them. So this, 2 things about Putrid Spray. First, Putrid Spray, I believe, is actually the key, the effective key to Phaedra. I think it's her most, I would say it's the key to getting good sustained damage from her and the key to high level play. That's just my opinion from using her. Second thing is that Putrid Spray is very useful, 1, in slowing, obviously in tracking down enemies, but 2, it's also very useful in getting around shields. So if an enemy is going to use Turtle Tech, because they're going to take a lot of damage, they can't get away, you can use Putrid Spray. You won't deal any damage to them, but you'll be able to set up for next turn when you can chase them and you can damage them even more. So there we go. Next, we've got Mending Swarm. This is a free action 4-turn cooldown. 4-turn cooldown prep spell, and basically this allows you to regenerate health. So 100% of damage taken this turn is recovered over the next 2 turns. Gain 5 energy on use, and our mod Chitinous, I believe that's the correct way of saying it, gain 10 shields until the end of the turn. So basically, if you're going to take a lot of damage, you can use Mending Swarm, and you might get hit for the next, you'll take a hit this turn, but the following 2 turns you'll be able to regenerate it. So it allows you to mitigate some damage, although you have to be a little bit strategic with it, knowing that you're going to get hit and being okay with that. Next, we've got our Juggernaut, which is our 4-turn cooldown dash. Charge forward when you hit an enemy or travel your maximum range, create a tremor causing 22 direct damage, and slows all enemies hit, can dash through walls. Again, here we see the theme of not being hindered by terrain. Energy, 8 energy gained per hit, per enemy hit, and if you go directly towards an enemy, hitting a target, you deal an additional 6 damage. So that's our mod right there, Ravage. Again, you can see in the little preview there, we're able to actually go through walls, which is very, very helpful. It allows us again to navigate through terrain quickly and continually be an aggressor in the game. Finally, we've got Lair. Lair is our ultimate ability. Create a large earthquake around you, dealing 30 damage directly. Edges of the lair prevent enemies from moving out of it until the end of the next turn. Aftershock is our mod. We gain might until the end of the next turn. So again, this is very much about being aggressive in trapping enemies, and what this allows us to do is, again, control an area, preventing enemies from moving out. Now, that doesn't prevent enemies from dashing out. It doesn't prevent them from teleporting out. They can still get out by other means. I've actually had it where I had an ally who actually pushed an enemy out through a knockback effect. So it doesn't create sky-high walls, but it does prevent enemies from moving. So you can kind of think of Phaedra as a melee version of Gray, right? Her ultimate traps enemies. She's very much about weakening them and slowing them and chasing them, no matter the terrain. So a melee Gray is kind of a good way to think about her. For Catalyst, we've got Turtle Tech, obviously because we're a frontliner, we want to be able to absorb a lot of damage. Feather is what I've gone for with the dash. Again, this allows us to chase and root enemies. And Brain Juice. I've gone for Brain Juice because, one, we've already got some healing with Mending Swarm, so don't need healing. And we have three 4-turn cooldown spells. And so we want to, if we can, basically what we can do is we can use those spells, use our cooldown reduction, and get those, get back into the things with faster regeneration, faster debuffing, that sort of thing. So that's my initial thought. So let's go ahead and get into a game. Phaedra obviously is a very charming lady, as you can hear. So we've got Dr. Finn, Gremolitions Inc., and Blackburn on our team, going against Elle, Orion, Asana, and Pup on Cloudspire.
Mission
so yes,
starting.
This is being done during the Christmas event. So Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays as well. But you can see we've got a little updated map here. So we're going to go ahead and, well, we can come right in here actually. Going to get that might buff. And the good thing is that we can actually dash right through this middle part if we want to. So again, we're going to be very aggressive. Just a lovely, lovely lady. All right, I'm thinking that we're gonna take some. Actually, no, we're not, because we're gonna dash. So we're gonna dash right here, and hope that we can't get to the enemy's back line. So there we go. So you can see 175 health. Phaedra is very tanky, very a lot of health, a lot of damage. I think a decent amount of damage. See, there we go. We had our might. We're able to slow our enemies right there, and now we can chase them. All right. Nice job, Gremolitions. All right. So what this does is we now have 3 enemies grouped up right here. So we're definitely going to go with Mending Swarm. I'm also just going to go ahead and do Turtle Tech. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to, yeah. Let's go ahead and slow them all. And we're going to go after Orion. So I've used right click on Orion, which allows me to just chase him wherever he goes. So we're going to slow him. You see right there.
Sidestepping trouble.
Oh, you're krilling my vibe.
Dr. Finn with a good pun there, but you can see we took a large amount of damage. So it's a good thing that we did not only our Turtle Tech, but also Mending Swarm. Blackburn with a big miss on his grenade. Nice. Alright. So here we go. We've set ourselves up for a huge amount of damage right here. There's a good chance that some of them will teleport away, but we're just going to have to live with that. And I'm going to go ahead and use Brain Juice. And we're actually going to chase out. So you see there, we did it. Got a nice amount of healing from our regeneration with Mending Swarm. And you can see, boom, right there. So the good thing is that we had Might, which buffed not only our initial damage, but it also buffed the damage that we got from Putrid Spray as well. So we ended up doing, I believe, 35. We ended up doing 60 damage right there to 3 characters. Big damage. Again, that's why I think that Putrid Spray really is the thing that is going to differentiate you from other players. So let's go ahead and lock this attack in. Again, we're going to chase after Pup. We're going to take some damage here from probably going to take damage from Orion. Maybe Pup might decide to go after Gremolitions. I'm thinking that Elle is also going to attack us. But you can see there, 28 damage to both of them. Definitely worth it. Nice job,
Pick
Blackburn.
your favorite spot to die.
Yeah. Alright, so we're going to take some damage here. That's okay, though. We've got a good amount of survivability. And Gremlicians is down. So we don't get first blood, but you can see that we've got 3 enemies that are on the ropes. It sets us up for a good... Sets us up for a fair amount of damage coming up. Alright, so again, we're going to use this to slow our enemies down. Going to chase after him and go ahead and use our regeneration as well. Because chances are Pup is going to attack us. Orion might. Alright. Nice job. So L again is on the ropes. Orion and Pup, neither of them are doing very well, and Asana actually is pretty low as well. So we've got our max already, and this is good. So we're gonna go ahead and use our ultimate right here. We don't need to get might because we're actually gonna get might from our mod, and so we're going to chase after Orion. So again, we're going to be doing the 30 damage from Lair, as well as the 20 damage on top of it from Fusion Spray. Unfortunately, that was a good ult from Sana. Good damage from Blackburn. And now we're in a little bit of trouble. I'll admit that. We need some healing. Dr. Finn, as normal, wow, look at that. Look at that damage on Orion. He was at like 90 something health. Alright, so here's where we're gonna have some fun. Let's do, again, 35 more damage to each of these characters and chase after Pup because Gremlician Think is trying to, hopefully it's gonna knock him back. Okay. Alright. So, we do have, our health admittedly is pretty low, but between, oh come on, one short on Pup. Get him. There we go. Look at that double kill. Get that health, and we can, okay, Elle is going to use her ultimate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my, I'm going to use my dash to get behind her. So there we go. Gremlician Inc. is probably going to get hit by Elle.
I said,
good damage from
away.
Blackburn. So there we are. So Orion might shield her, but she's in a pretty bad way right now. She does have her teleport, so let's see, I'm gonna guess that she's gonna try and teleport back this way. Complete guess. I don't have, it's just an intuition thing.
Demolition time!
Here, smells so good.
So we got 2 ultimates used on Elle. Took her down though, so that's good. And now to choose our last target. Orion is looking pretty, he's looking pretty tasty. Let's go ahead and teleport. Here, let's do this. We'll teleport to keep him rooted where he is. And also hopefully get ourselves out of the way of some big damage.
I thrive on pain.
You have no choice but to fight.
So yeah, we avoided getting damaged by Pup. Blackburn thankfully got out of there, but it looks like actually now the tides have turned a little bit, and we're in trouble. So let's go ahead and I'm just gonna go ahead and go for damage. Go for this healing. And then come back.
Your attacks will betray.
Had to use a little bit more time there. Things are getting a little tricky. We are out of catalysts. One thing I've noticed with, and this is just me with Phaedra, most likely, is that I tend to be using her catalyst very early on in the game. Because I am so aggressive with her, because I think she's meant to be played aggressively. But probably something to take into account. Alright, so Finn is down. I did manage to get that health. Unfortunately, we didn't take a whole lot of damage, which is kind of weird. But we didn't take a whole lot of damage, which means we're not going to regenerate a whole bunch of health either. There's a good chance that we're dead here, but we're going to hope and pray that we're not, obviously. We're going to come this way. One, because I don't think that many enemies are going to, I don't know, it's a little unexpected. And two, because we're hitting 3 of the 4 enemies with our Puget Spray, and our Seismic Slam actually goes through walls. So hopefully we can get some good damage off then. Blackburn, nice job. This is gonna hurt.
I put the blood in blood sport.
Yep. Wow. Dang, boys. Jeez. I did not think that we'd take that much damage. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and respawn here. We'll get the Might, travel up, and then we have our Juggernaut available. But I think we're actually going to lose this match, because Blackburn's probably going down. I don't see any way of him recovering unless... No, there's no way for him to recover. So there it is. Man.
Defeat.
It seems like... I don't know. That seems like defeat snatched from the jaws of victory. Again, a lovely lady there with Phaedra. Not the best performance, probably, but there we are. You got some of the basics of Phaedra. Again, an aggressive tank. Take it from me, maybe a little bit too aggressive, but that's just, I don't know. That's just the way I play when it comes to frontliners. So, thanks again for tuning in for a little bit of Atlas Reactor here on Additional Paladins Games. Hit like and subscribe. Check out some of the other series going on the channel. Leave a comment below if you have any tips, any suggestions, anything like that. Connect with me on Twitter, and tune in next time as we continue on with our Atlas Reactor character guide. So, thanks again, and we'll see you next time here on APG.